How about the sticker price? $58,975. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on that price. Let's see what else you get for the price. We'll start with the upper console up here. And you're going to have quite a few different controls and features, as you can see. You can use the button right here to control the power shade. That's how you open and close the power sunroof. And you can see the other buttons that are here. Now this will allow, when you open your doors, the lights come on. If you don't want them to come on when you open the doors, you can turn that off right there. We can turn our lights on right here. Pretty self-explanatory. There is a sunglass holder right here, which is always nice. We'll have our digital rear view mirror. If you don't like the digital rear view mirror, guess what? You can turn that off. You can also adjust everything depending on what you want to do. Here are your different settings depending on how you want to set things up, and you just touch the button right there to work your way over to whatever it is you're looking for, and there you go. You're good with that. Over here, we have our 3 buttons for home link. That's where that's located underneath on the bottom of the mirror right there. And we'll work our way over here to the dash area. You're going to have the nice little spot right here for a cell phone, whatever the case is, whatever will fit there, a USB port. And something interesting here, tell me what you think about this. Would you rather have a release where you pull it to the side or reach underneath and pull out like that? But there is your glove box area. Now we'll talk about the passenger side door panel. You can see a couple of the different finishes that we have here. We have plenty of room with the armrest and with the door bin. The driver and passenger seats are both power adjustable and are going to have lumbar support. And real quick, I'm going to grab the camera and we'll come over here to the driver's side. You will have seat memory over here only on the driver's side, but it is here. Controls for our side view mirrors. We can push the button right there and show you that these are indeed power folding side view mirrors. I didn't show you that earlier, but there you go with that. You can control your positioning, lock and unlock. You're going to have 1 touch down and 1 touch up windows at all 4 doors. You can lock or unlock the windows if you want to. And once again, the nice large armrest, door bin, all of that's going to be here. And then we have our heated steering wheel control right there. You can turn your auto high beams on and off. And there's that button I was telling you about earlier for opening and closing the power tailgate. Now, one thing I am surprised at for this being the Platinum trim level is that you have a manually adjustable steering wheel. I'm glad it is adjustable. Tilt and telescopically. Everything here as far as your steering wheel mounted controls for your cruise control and managing the radio and all that good stuff will be here. We can also go through a lot of different information depending on what we want to know about with the controls right here. We can go in and select whatever it is we need to. We can come back out of that with the back button right there if we want to. Go back. We can go to our settings. We can make a lot of different changes here. It just depends on what you need to do. Here's where you're going to come to control your head-up display or your HUD. That is here. You can adjust that, obviously, depending on the positioning that you need. And you can see some of the other features and functions that are going to be here, just so you know what's going on. We'll also have our shifter paddles for the 8-speed automatic transmission for gearing up, gearing down. Your front and rear window wiper control right here. And here's where you not only control those turn signal indicators, the blinkers, but you also turn your fog lights on, and you can turn your lights on. You can leave them on auto. Whatever you want to do with that, it will be done right there. Now, let's talk about our center screen. First thing we're going to see right here, the knob for controlling the volume and turning the radio on and off. You will have built-in navigation. You can come in here to music, phone, whatever you need to. Let's talk about what this area offers as far as the vehicle goes. Now, as far as climate goes, you do have physical controls, but you have some things you can do here too for front and rear. You can go into your options, whatever you need to do right there. We hit the back button to go back out of that. Trip information. Now that's got some good information here for you. Depending on what you need to know about, it's going to be here, give you some good details. You can go into history right here if you want to do that. There'll be more here than there is right now. Depending on how far you've driven, you can clear the data. You can update if you need to. And then we come back out of that and you can go to vehicle alert. Now there's no vehicle alerts right now, so you don't have to worry about seeing anything where that is concerned. we'll go into settings and just give you a quick little overview of what is here. Personal info, Bluetooth and devices, general notifications, Wi-Fi. You can see what all is here. Sound and media, I know that's something a lot of you like to look for. How about sound tuning? This is where you're going to find that. And here's where you adjust everything for the radio, depending on what you want to do. Also, if the sound is not balanced or in the areas where you want it, this is also where you will come to do that. And then we can come back here and go to media. You're going to have that right there depending on what you need to do. And we'll come back out of settings and just run through a couple of different things here just to show you what's going on. If you need to do your software update, that's where that's going to happen. Now, coming down here to our controls for the dual zone climate control here in the front. You can sync everything together if you want to. You can change the temperature, whatever you need to do, you can set that up, and it's not going to be a problem whatsoever. And you'll have everything here for your front and rear window defoggers. All of that will be here. You'll also have, just like we did in the rear, we're going to have our 3 stages of heated seats and 3 stages of ventilated seats. Your hazard light button will be right here. As we work our way down, here is the button for turning the engine on and off. Our wireless charging pad, USB connectivity, and all of that will be here. Now I'm going to push this button and we'll go back to the center screen and show you what's going on there. Let's go back to the screen. There we go. And you have a couple of different views here depending on what you want to see. This is our overhead view. We can come right here and see the view where the hood and all of that is gone. Just gives you a little bit better perspective of what you have around you. Now when you go into reverse, your rear view camera will come on. So you can see that. You also have that overhead view. You could hitch up to a trailer very easily like this. And when we go into drive, you can see that the front view camera is going to come on. So you do have all those cameras, as I mentioned earlier in the video, all around this Grand Highlander. Now, something else that I know a lot of you like is the absence of a push button shifter. You have your conventional style shifter here. Park, reverse, neutral, and drive. If you want to drive in manual mode and use the shifter to gear back and forth, gearing up, gearing down, you just move that over to the left just like that, and you're good to go for those who would like to do that. A little bit of storage space in front of the cup holders, and our cup holders themselves are here. We'll also have our power parking brake. We're going to have brake hold mode right here. If you want to turn that auto stop start feature off or on, it's right here. Your traction control is here. And how about our drive modes? There are a few different options here. As you can see, depending on what you want to do, you've got your mud and sand, you've got the rock and dirt, eco. You can see what all is here, whether it's sport mode, whatever you need to do. And it will actually go through some graphics here on the driver's display. We'll show you that real quick just to show you what's going on. Nothing major. They're going to be about the same, just different words on there depending on what you want to go with. We've got that. There's eco. And then we also have our normal mode. If you want to take advantage of normal mode, there that is. And depending on your situation, you can choose that. We're also going to have the button right here for normal if you want to use that. Snow mode is there. So a little bit of everything for every driving situation. Now, I do like the fact that unlike the back seats, you have a little bit more armrest space here because you mainly use this area as an armrest for the center console lid. Now, for the center console itself, we can open that up right there and take advantage of the space within. Let me pull this out just so you can see a little bit more of what's in there. A decent amount of space.